Just hello. How are we doing? Paulie, hello. Psycho, hello. I'm going to turn the yellow down from this light. No, that's not it. That's it. No, it's got to be right. How are we doing? Are we good? Hello, R2. It is. It's actually you. I'm going to get this shield sorted today, just at least sanded and maybe refilled. Are you back at work now? Is that half the problem? So that's the bit that we'd sorted out. It's still not quite filled in, look. The filler sunk in there, but it's better than it was. I have to do another skin over it. But this is the Tamiya stuff. It shows how well you can sand it. So we're going to start off with this, and I want to put another layer of stuff on it. And then what I might do, I'll show you actually. Something I want to see if we just do nights on all the streams, then from looking at the viewership numbers and the people that are in, people go away. But we're getting to the point where we can do the weather and stuff. So we are getting there. We're getting progress. Look, so this one's got all his shizzle on. I've got the Space Wolves out here. They need to just go there for now. Should I lose them? I did. I don't know how big they are. They're obviously not going to be anywhere near as big as the Mega Gargant. Otherwise, as I said, but they're probably just a replacement for the new ones. Sorry, the old existing Gargants, aren't they? I wish they would have done a second leg pose for those Gargants. It drives me absolutely. I would have loved to have just got a load of giants and had them all different poses, but you can only have that pose, so they all have exactly the same legs, and it's just rubbish. I'm surprised no one's just done a really good copy of these legs and mirrored them and offered them as a print. If there was just a better leg pose on them, they'd be great. It'd be amazing. You'd be able to match them up, but they did exactly the same thing as what they did with the Imperial Knights and hobbled them by having one leg pose. Man Crushers only have one leg pose as well. But yeah, I'm going to bring this into play. I might do a little bit of work on this with some oils to screw things up. Polly, it's yellow. Good job, R2. Hello, Lupin. So I might do this section. It fell over the other day. So it's got a little bit of a scuff here and there, which is fine. But in falling over, the glue joint broke. So the front's loose and the back's loose. Oh, it's staying the same. Gryphonicus. It's just getting finished. Or I can take the back off now. And then take these out. Yeah, it's staying because I need to finish it, and then I need to sell it. So it needs doing. To be honest, retail price I'd be happy with. Top's even magnetized on as well now. Or it would be if our magnet didn't fall off. It's about $1,000, I think, with all the weapons. There you go, Polly. Yellow Titan. Come on. I'm sick of this. Where's my bloody... What is? Can't open or close my bloody thingy. That's got the new trim on it. Where is the multi-tool? I don't know where it is. Better. So this needs varnished, and then we started doing a little bit of aging on here. We do the rest of it. That was an absolute pain in the ass to do. That. Also, a little bit of acrylic touch-up we need to do on this, the writing on here, because I'm not too happy with it. Not that colour. So what are we all up to tonight then? I'm going to quickly do this before it drives me absolutely spare. Where's my ivory's gone? Who's seen him? There's a dark ivory. Will that do? That'll do. Breaches for Psycho. Anyway, I can't do that right now. We're doing this first. Getting sidetracked. Back on the trailer. Excellent. A near anxiety attack. What was going on? I don't think many jobs are good, Lupu, unfortunately. Just look after yourself. I had one of the worst bosses for me to have when I worked the first magazine job I had. Absolute cunt. He was the owner of the business as well, even worse. One of those people where, like, oh, you go in your first day, oh, hey, Chris, how you doing? So, yeah, you can have your desks however you want, set them up as you want. So, me and the other graphic designer that was there set our desks up in a way where it was like the room was a long rectangle. The boss was at one end. And then we had the salespeople down near where the boss was, because they were all loud. And then we had the writers in the middle. And then we had the designers who had to think what they were doing at the very back end in this corner. And we set our desks up in like an L to sort of partition off the corner. So you could see what we were doing, what we're doing. And we were doing really well. We were getting all our deadlines before the time was up and everything. So we weren't causing any problems. Came in one morning, Ginge, hello. And he turned both our desks around and put them flat against the wall so he could see what we were doing. Prick. Sidewinder, hello there. You built your second model kit of the year today. Congratulations. What was it? That's all right. It's not a race. Not a race. Say something, this filler doesn't have smell. Not a pleasant one. I wonder if I can do with a knife. Well, no, because I know where I put my knife now. For fuck's sake. You stop doing that. There's the knife. Printer's going. Ah, so you got done for questioning his authority or their authority. Unfortunately, bosses don't usually like that. I think this is mostly okay. I might have to just check that one up there a little bit. What's Ginge been up to today? I got Gundam kit. Doing a bit of paint today. Mine's built. It's in a box over there. I can see it. Oh, yeah, absolutely pissed down before. Like a monsoon. It's really bad. Because there's going to be a big custom decal over here. We need to sort of try and get this as flat as possible. This shield is, yeah, that's my Reaver Titan, which I want to try and get a bit of progress done today because I need to get it done and then sold. So this is for a Lancer. Reminder, we are on YouTube tonight as well. I still haven't got the bot with a link to it, have I? Rub the weakness. We're nearly there. Then we'll debate whether we need to add another layer or whether I can just sand through to it. There's only a few Gundam I like, the old-fashioned ones, basically. So, you know, as soon as I start getting all like fancy wings and stuff, I just switch off. Same with Transformers. Like, there's a group of the fandom of Transformers that loves all the Beast Wars stuff. And I'm like, but that's all just shit. What are you on about? Oh, they're fucking Michael Bay bollocks. I can't believe there's legitimate fans of that. Yeah, so this is what you grew up on. So I've still got a line there, look. I'll wait until it's out and then probably just download it. It was going to a cinema. I already have the original one. I don't know, there's like, what is it, 11 minutes or something? I don't know how many more minutes of extra animation they've added to the end of it. Yeah, that involves going outside the house side, like, don't do that. Interact with real people. Did you, hey, Ginge, did you have, because you said you had the Ghostbusters toys, did you have the toilet? Did you have the toilet, the blue toilet with the eyes that popped out the top and the tongue? So I had that. It was a good. An articulated tongue. They reissued it. I don't have it. But I've got a Donatello. He's not old. Well, not super old anyway. Right, I need to have a think about this, whether we had another layer on or not. Because what I'm worried about, well, not worried, but conscious that I don't want the shape to show up when we put the decal on, and it has a chance of doing so. Let's stick another layer on. Micro machines are great. I wish I still had my micro machines. Well, only the Galoob ones. So there's two eras of micro machines. There was the good era of all the ones that had like opening doors and bonnets and stuff. They were great. Like Galoob, and that era sort of finished. Around the time they started bringing out all the military ones. Remember all the tanks and what have you? And they were sold, and then they never sort of quite became the same again after that. But the Galoob era micro machines are amazing. You know what other toy line I liked when I was a kid? I liked the crash test dummies. Remember them? So you must remember that the crash test dummies can't just be me. You used to have like a button on the chest and then explode. And then cars that would like all just fall apart when you round them into one another. See, Ginge knows the score. Okay, so that has to go and sit over there somewhere. Where can it go? Just moving it around. On there. You're too hard on him. You still buy them on eBay, new in box and stuff occasionally. I haven't. They're not cheap. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a bit of this dark ivory out with the paintbrush. Because I have like writing on the top of this thing here. But where the writing is, because it was a cheapo, shitty Chinese decal rather than a proper one, the registry's off slightly. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to work out an angle. Is use a colour that's far too bright, like this. Try over here. What I'm going to do is just sort of patch over the worst of the white writing. How long do you think is too long to not use paints? Yours haven't been used in 5 years. Just keep them all shake. As long as they're still liquidy, you should be all right. Yeah, just get them on. It'd probably make more sense just going this with the dark brush. You know, like writing. We might just do that. Let's try it. We'll use black brown if I can find it. That's you. I mean, you can just shake them up, but don't be scared about getting like the back end of a paintbrush and giving the proper stir. If some feel really, really sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? If some feel really, really, really thick, don't feel bad about adding a little bit of thinner to them. Because look at this paint. This paint's really thick. This is the black brown. I need to get some thinner in there. Don't know why. There we go. There's a hole in it, so I can put a bit in. I need to pierce. There's like a massive glob of this paint here. I need to pierce it so the liquid can go down. There we go. See, that's too thick. What do you mean it's the back end of the brush? This is the back end. It's fine. These are the stirring side of the brush. Bit more of that in there. We'll find out. It's still dead thick. Now we're going to be a bit of flow improver on here. Ewan, hello. I'm going to mostly mix with the flow improver because I'm going to be writing or scribbling. That's better. This is the top of the Reaver Titan. And we'd added some decals on the these strips. But they're a bit shit, so I'm going over them to make them look less shit. Yeah, just mixing it up. So not actually putting words on here, just scribbly lines. My 3D print is whistling at me. I don't think you can hear it. It keeps going. It's because it's doing supports, which is a really long, thin, circular tube. And when the part cooler of the fan goes over it, it's catching and whistling every time it goes over it. It's 3 in. Yeah.
You never hear people with the name Lance anymore, but in medieval times, people were named Lancelot.
For fuck's sake. She did. Thank you very much. I think she just hates punctuation. Certain punctuation drives her mad. Hi, Nix. How you doing? How are cats? Are you back upstairs now? They haven't been here long today. So some of these lines are a little bit too big. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in with our ivory and tighten this one up. You could have stepped there this morning and then they've only been there for like an hour and they're fucked off again. Nice. That one's better. Some of these definitely going to need a bit more paint on them. I don't know whether to do that one there, that little dark section. Anyone got any plans this weekend? She's being nice. See how long that lasts. Here you're helping repair a garage. Cat decided to use your keyboard as a headrest. Oh, we'll let you off there then. Fine. I wish this paint would stay this consistency all the time when I'm trying to do this. And now this side. Through pick in, pick dump for reasons. Silly sausage cat. Right then. It's going to be a black or a black and white cat, isn't it? It's a good cat. Well, you're a cat owner, of course you're going to have lots of things. Yeah, I do like black cats and black and white cats. Nixie's local animal rescue place has a load of little black and white kittens. It's still all there, at least they were earlier on, I checked. No, it isn't. It's all flat. Well, in essence, I am, but they ain't words. They're far from words. So I need to write somewhere here. I think it's starting to get there. I think once it gets all shaded. No, I need enough thick paint on there. Paint's got to be fairly thick on the end of this brush. There we go. Right in the zone trying to get this right. Starting to get there. When you look at them in isolation, they look absolutely dog shit. It's all about trying to view it as a full thing. Let me know if you're all falling asleep to the music. I'll put something better on. Right, I need to go into the other colour. Best we can, anyway. So what I'm doing here is just tidying up some of this where it's a little bit too busy. Right, I'm going to leave that like that. Now we did, I still haven't got any bloody new cups, have I? Luckily I did clean the airbrush. Hey Google, turn the compressor on. Right, I'm going to try and put a little bit of varnish on the top. Lucky matte varnish. I'm going to try. We can do him as well while we're at it because he's varnished. We'll do him first. Better, it's not quite as shiny. Better look now. No one here is shiny. That muscle is a little bit. There we go. It depends. Like, I'm not on purposely doing it. I'm just hitting the raised areas. You generally don't want to map your metallics, because you can kill the shine. Especially ultra matte varnishes, I stay clear of them. If you look here, that's now not shiny. So the letters are all okay. I mean, some of them are really rudimentary, like some of these here. Look at these. But by the time these look more like these, it'll be all right. Let's find our oil paints. I have too many random boxes full of models. This one is especially heavy and it should be at the top. What do we need? I might use dark brown. What are you? Brown wash, yes, we'll have you out. Buff, having that out. That plus can go away. Not engine grease because it is too bright. I might take a bit of Starship filth out. I'm back. We don't need black. Red. Dark mud. Do we have 2 dark muds? No, that's it. It's them. Oh yeah, I do have 2 dark muds. Here's the other one. Oh, what colour are you? Light mud. Right, that's them. There's a robot in here. He needs a new base. It's not quite there. I can feel it's a little bit soft. So when you're dealing with oil paints, you've never dealt with them before, you need cardboard. You don't need cardboard. It's recommended you have cardboard. And I'll explain why in a second. Once I cut a piece of cardboard, so this becomes your palette. I'm going to put a couple of them up, so I've got them. The reason why you have a palette is oil paints are not like enamels in the sense that once you shake them up, you're ready and you can go. When it comes to oil paints, they have a carrier of linseed in them. And standard oil paints, not like these are miniature specific ones, but if you have, say, Artist oil paints, just a cheapo brand. I've got a load of these cheap ones. Payne's Grey. Inside here is probably an absolute load of linseed oil. Yeah, look, see, all that bubbling. That's the linseed oil up there. And the reason why they have a lot of linseed oil in them is because when you're a canvas artist, or let's say you're doing some special paper, you need to be able to have a longer working time on a canvas, because you might be working on a bit, and you might be working on another bit, and it start to soak in and bite into the canvas. So having a longer working time is preferable on a big thing where you work with lots of stuff. But on Rust with miniatures, we don't want that. Otherwise, our miniatures will never dry. So for a standard oil paint, you'll use a piece of cardboard like this, and you put your amount of oil paint on, and it'll just soak all the excess linseed oil away, leaving enough in the paint to become usable in the same properties we want. But miniature ones, or scale model ones, like these Abteilungs, or the oil brushes, have less linseed oil in them, so they dry quicker. It's still preferable, and they still will leach linseed in here. It's preferable to still use a piece of cardboard. These are just, you get less paint in these than you do obviously in one of these. They're a little bit more user-friendly though, because you can just unscrew them. Dab, dab, dab where you need it. Put it back in and away you go. You're done. No mess. Well, less mess. Whereas these, you need to, work out what you're doing. It's already here, brown wash. Let's have a look at the colour of it. If I can open these. If I can open them. I can see my multi-tool on them. This is the one thing I hate about these. If you don't keep your lid area clean, they can be really tricky to open. So much so they end up pinching your metal on your tube, and then you end up cracking it and then getting paint all over. The tubes are shit. They always have been shit. I was using the back of a knife. Trying to clear these out a little bit. This is not the colour I want to use. I'm looking at it and it's not the colour for now, but we do want to still. I'm going to put it on all the way this time, just enough. This is 24/7 Vintage Noir Jazz Radio. I think the colour we want is this one, Dark Mud. The most wrongly named paint to swatch there is. Is it going to be that colour? Well, that one is. I wonder if my other one's wrong. So I know I have one of these that doesn't look like Dark Mud. This is the brown wash. Now that was the brown wash. Try this one. This one here. Dark Mud. Dark Mud. Oh, is this going to be a case of this is why AK Interactive are a bag of shit as a company? So this is Dark Mud. You can see the colour matches this. That's ABT 130. This is ABT 130 Dark Mud. Is this going to match the colour? The answer is no. Because that is a completely different colour. I'm not surprised at all. If you know AK Interactive, this is what to do. Random colours. However, this is the colour I want, I think. We'll check by opening some others up. Because the shit, they can't be trusted to keep recipes the right colour. And this is Starship Filth, which is darker still. You would expect that to be that colour. It's just insanity. Right, we need some brushes. That one. And that one. We're going to run 2 brushes for this. This one. And this one. I want a little bit of white spirits. I have a new white spirits container. I say new. It isn't new. But it is not the container of death. Which is... Did I take the container of death downstairs? Or is it still here? I think I took it downstairs. Clean. For now. So we're going to operate 2 brushes. One of them is going to be a dry brush. It does not touch the white spirit at all. That's this one. This one is going to be the one we go into our palette with. And I'm actually having a look and see what colour we've got here, because this is a colour which I can't even work out what it is. I don't know whether it's that one or not. We'll have a look. So I'm going to put a little bit of white spirit on the brush. Now what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a test. I'm going to take this one, which is Starship Filth. Hey Google, compressor off. And it might be the wrong colour for me. Yeah, that one's a bit too grey for this job. So instead, I'm going to try, let them sit for a little bit. I'm going to try a little bit of this dark brown oil brusher. Because this is nice and dark brown. I want to put a bit in here. Just in there, and a bit. Just in there like that. And then a bit in here. And I might as well put a bit in here, because we've committed now. And a bit in here. To mix it in, we'll put a bit more on here as well. That way we'll have an idea of what we're doing. We might as well stick some in there, and in there. I'll try that. This brush. So we're going to just try and move it and see what happens first of all. That seemingly works okay. Let's try in here. So I'm constantly cleaning my brush on my finger. You see how quick this is? Psycho, you're watching. You need to be watching. This is just a dry brush. I keep cleaning it on my t-shirt. Not with any spirits. This is our blending brush. It isn't a blending brush, it is just a synthetic angled brush I'm using. But I'm using it as a blending brush. Running on R2. Oh, look at that. How's some little wheels working? Thanks for popping inside, Ryan. Have a good one. And how quick was that? Do the other side now. So, again, whole process. One of these. This one's dark brown. Did you look okay though? Doesn't look too big or anything. So I know that I want brown here. Roughly like that, and I want brown in there. And I want some in there. Then I want some in here. And then in there like that. In there like that. We'll do this other bit after. Doesn't take any too long. So we'll start on here. We're rolling the second application on that one to make it match the other. Just down the bottom. You gone to bed, Paul? Evan? Good one. Good night. Really powerful, though. Really powerful. So dry it again. And then push that pigment where you want it. The excess off. Music stopped. Oh. I just had this one on. Yeah. We want some in here. In here. Oh, maybe a bit much. Far too much doing this. Let's add a little bit more down here. How's that? These ones need a little bit more work on them. Didn't take long to do that, did it really? Now, where did my other panel go? Because we're going to have to try and follow it. Right, we're going to try and do. By the way, there's you can see the linseed oil leaching out. You see it? I'm going to take our other brush, our little brush. Get most of that white spirit off. And I'm going to take the starship filth, I think, on my brush. And what I'm going to do this. A little bit of spirit because it's getting a little bit dry. We're going to do that. Then we panic a bit. Now, what's going to happen here is we're going to start moving this, and some of it may stick quite a lot. We may go, oh shit, that's not moving. But we have white spirit. So we probably need a little bit of moisture. I will introduce the moisture with the other brush. So we'll clean the filth off the other brush. A little bit of moisture in there. And a little bit down here. You can see it. Our dry brush. Going to go back in with the white spirits. And I'm just going to start moving some of this just a little bit around here. Get a little bit easier on the heavy brush. At this point, it's all very impressionistic. You don't need to worry too much about what's going on. You have to be careful not to hit the brown though, because we have just done that. The sensible thing would have been to put a varnish layer on. That would be sensible. Sometimes your big brush can get a little bit too oversaturated and you will have to do a clean. We're doing two things though. We're trying to get a base oil sort of application down. And we're making sure we get our tone right. see what we'll do. Let's try and just do this. The brush is getting a bit dirty. Well, the big brush I said not to put into the liquid in the liquid. To do with like a U. As a first colour in, I think that's where we want to be. So we've got the vertical streaks where we want them. And the dirt at the bottom. I want to try and get a little bit of dirt in here now. Now I'm getting it on the gold here. But it don't matter. We can take that off. I just want it in there at the moment. A little bit on the front of that thing, but it'll be fine. We can get that up as well. It's getting a little bit too thin now here. You want to keep it fairly thick when you do this, because if you do it too thin, you'll end up clogging up your dry brushes. You lose your control the thinner it gets. You can always add 2, but getting rid of it is a bit of a nightmare. I'm going to redo the gold again, so I don't mind about getting it on there. Clean that brush, because we'll probably need it in a second. It's slightly different on the knights. We'll be using enamels predominantly on the knights. Now, one thing you can do, we haven't done yet, so might as well do it. It's quicker to layer up, and we're going to go for the material properties because these are just pigment. But when you use your enamels, your enamel washes, because we're doing it over a slightly more glossier surface on the knights, it's easy to do like 3 jobs in one with the enamels. These usually look better on bigger panels than the oils. It's very similar, it's just different tools. A bit more brown in here. Clean the brush because we have too much dark pigment up on the center here, so we'll shove that around where we want it. Especially in here, it's too dark. Maybe there's a little bit too dark as well, so we'll brighten that back up. tricky now. There's so much liquid on there. I'm going to be careful where I'm pushing. Right, let's deal with this little bit here. So we're going to take our wet application brush for this, get most of the liquid off it. So you can pull little streaks down. If you don't like them, you can get rid of them dead easy. Missed a big splodge in there. Did I just put that in a load of oil? I did. So like here we've got these little brown splodges. All they're to do really is to just break up the colour a little bit. I've got a little bit of brown just here where this cog is, because the cog, we're losing the cog visually. So I might just lighten all this back up. See this? Try this other side. It is. There's absolutely no stress involved at all. It's like if you could just bottle creativity without any sort of worry that you're going to fuck it up, it'd be this. Let's take this with a load of muck. Exact same thing. So we're going to go, right, this is the angle it's going to be. So we want to have dirt down here in all this section and around this edge here. And then up this side, we'll have some. And then we'll go, okay, so done that. Let's add some in amongst all this where the grime would be. And there'll be some in this pocket here, down in here. And then we'll get some hiding under there. Then in here, because we didn't do that last time. And then we'll on. We'll just do this section first, like we did last time, so we won't get ahead of ourselves. Continue up to here. Up to say that. Try and get in that bit. And then losing moisture. We'll get some in there. And do this as well. So put some in there. Okay. I've got oil all over my brush because I've dropped it in the paint. And with our dry brush, which has cleaned itself. Now, we're going to be careful because what's going to happen is we're going to lose all our checkers if we're not careful. How's it look?
Rude alert, rude alert. An electrical fire has knocked out my voice recognition unicycle. Abandoned shop. This is not a daffodil. Repeat, this is not a daffodil.
It's not. It's Zombie Sashimi. How you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. How was your stream? What were you doing? Tell me all the things. We're working on the top of a Reaver Titan at the moment. Tangerine from X-Doom Legends. Do not know what it is. Well, thank you. We're getting there. It's been a slow process overall. We're currently working with some oil paints. As we try and tone it. Indeed. Crow. If you have any pictures of what you're working on or you'd like to get some sorted, just let us know and we can get you a permit to show them off. I only really paint scale model stuff and Warhammer stuff. So anything outside of that wheelhouse, woefully ignorant of. But yeah, I'd love to see what you're doing if you got any pictures or you could get some. No worries. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for bringing your friends in. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care. For everybody who's come across here, who may stay, I know you obviously got your own interests and things you'd like to watch, but you're welcome to hang out. We stream 3 or 4 nights a week, usually 4. Mostly 4, to be honest. And we're doing Imperial Knights, we're doing Titans, we're doing Orks, we have an Ork here in the background. We finished recently. Getting you zoom in on him. Second. This is the Ork we did. Where is he? There he is. No. And we've also done recently a Knight Titan pilot. That's where he is. And we'll just do a little bit of work on this, which I've neglected for quite a while. I need to try and get it completed so I can sell it. See if we can highlight up or get at least some colours back in here. So that's a dark square, so we're okay there. It's okay. Let's dry that a little bit. I've just noticed I have a little bit of the grey where I don't want it. I've also got to darken this, so let's have a quick look. Okay, we can probably carefully do up here. do this one slightly differently to the grey side by making it a lot more fluidic. The reason why I'm thinking I want to keep it a bit more loose is just because that white, and I'm a little bit fearful that we kill that white a little bit much. Gonna shoot now. Catch you tomorrow. Good night, all. Good night, R2. Have a good one. Just popping in. So like that. I'm going to turn it round, grab our blender brush. I think we still need a little bit more liquid on there. Didn't want to touch that. I think we're okay there. Let's move some of these pigments around again then. So a lot of fluid on this. What I'm going to do is bring in some of that colour with the brown. What I'm doing here is I'm just sort of trying to get the excess white spirit to flash off. Because when I mess with this, I don't want to start pulling colour everywhere. I want it to be subtle, but for there to be colour. It just stays one colour, doesn't it? Dark. This way we can introduce a little bit of like rust or muck, whatever it might be. In that brush and then get as much liquid off it as possible. Still got too much on it. Too much liquid. You can see it's too much liquid. Does having edge or trim make the grey bit easier? How do you mean? I'm not sure I'm following the question. Big question is, does it match this? Yes. Yeah, it does, but I would still push it up to a flat edge if there was none there. Because I need to repaint all this trim anyway. So I'm not worried about it. Just make sure there's no big lumps on it. That's the palette we've used. We only really use 2 colours. Don't bother with the third one. I remember what it was like before. I think we've done all right with that. Right, before I forget, take this off. I think, don't we? Hang on, let's put the lid on this. Should make a mess. We still have varnish in here. Now, make sure there's no dust on it. Should really be careful because my hands will be slightly oily. The back of this used to be striped. It used to have red, yellow, black stripes on it. Because it was fire wasps originally. There are a few little witness marks of it. They come out when like now when I'm doing this. Not too much varnish on. Slight run there. I'm trying to be careful with it. What's the decals on the bottom? Have a quick look. Not sure there isn't. There's not. Did you send me that mock-up? No. So we've done the head for this. It's out of reach, but I've done the head already. We've done all the lower leg plates. We've done one of the knees. Have we done both knees? Here's another lower leg. I don't know whether that's how he's trimmed or not. I think he has. Here's another one, blue and white. Yeah, they've had their trims done. This one hasn't yet. Look at this. This one needs writing put on it. Also hasn't been trimmed, that one. That one has. That one hasn't. I think there's a difference in gold. Just tried. Not yet. Just a little speck there. Yeah, it's going to be the rubber buff we use. Is this it? Is this the silver? True metal steel, that's the wrong colour. It's there, in fact. It's just off the side of this green. That's what we'll use on everything, yeah. I'm quite happy with it being fairly bright, the trim, because I think it'll make a nice contrast with the weathered panels. The only gold on it that'll remain old will be that. That'll stay nice and old. Early model, by the way. I did this on stream way back in 2018. Can't use that in Kill Team. At least not yet. Now look at Discord. Oh, I see. I see what your plan is. Obviously not in those colours though, right? You've confused an Abaddon proxy in Dark Angels colours. What do you mean, just a guy with those weapons? It will be Abaddon now, right? I'm not sure he was ever in Saturnine armor, but Suppose it doesn't matter. Wasn't he in Cataphracti? Was his armor? Right. That's going to be us for today. We've got our thing to sand. Where's it gone? Where did I put it? The shield. Put it somewhere for safekeeping because it needs to be resanded. Oh, for fuck's sake, how are you useless at doing this? Put something safe and then lose it. We'll find it. It does. Saturn is cool, especially the Praetor model. Let's put the lid on this. The one thing I haven't done really on any of this is chipping. Not real chipping anyway. I'm just going for the grind because I don't think it really needs it. What's going to chip this at that high up? I've got this problem where I put things somewhere for safekeeping and I fucking can't ever find them. Well, that's a good place to put. Oh, it's there. That needs resanded. Once it's dry, it's not dry yet. I'll dry for a bit. There we go. So yeah, hope you enjoyed what we've done. At least learned something. I am gonna head off. Zombie Sashimi, thank you very much for the raid of 12 people. Thanks to you for the 100 biddies, and Fish1, who subscribed at the very end of stream yesterday. If he's lurking away, you don't have to lurk away, you can talk. If you're even here. I appreciate you. Miss you. But yeah. Remember, we are on what are we on? We're on YouTube as well. Search Solar Studios on YouTube. Drop us a subscribe on YouTube. That'd be fantastic. If you haven't already, I will get a bot that says that we are doing that as well, because I keep forgetting to do it. We're going to be back on Friday and Saturday. So have a good one, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support, and I'll catch you the weekend. Good night.